The plot is the most important element of fiction. The plot is the weaving and the organization of events in a specific way. How these events relate to each other, how they arranged, how they are organized is called a plot. So the plot is what we retain in our memories after finishing the reading of the story. There is, of course, a difference between the story and the plot. So while the plot is a mere succession of events as they happened in real time, the plot is, as I said, a specific arrangement of these events. So in a story, for example, events can start from the middle or from the end, as it is the case, for example, in some movies which you watch. Let's give an example of a movie which most of you have seen, like Titanic, for example, in which the events, if I still remember, started from the end of the beginning of the movie opens with an event which took place in real time at the very end of the story, or in a movie like Inception, for example. The plots revolves around a conflict or several conflicts. If there is no conflict, there will be no plot. Conflicts can be external or internal. I will explain these in the next slides. Conflicts, I repeat, are either internal or external. External conflicts occur when a character is challenged by outside forces. These outside forces can be other characters or another character who stands on the way of the hero or the protagonist, who impedes his progress and development, and who prevents him or her from achieving his or her goals. The character or the protagonist can also be challenged by nature, by animals, by tough and difficult geography, or by other things which block his or her progress. The challenge can also come from society, the school, for example, family or community, who impose certain rules and constraints which limit the freedom and the progress of the major character. The internal conflict, on the other hand, occurs within the self of the character. It is therefore a psychological conflict. For example, the protagonist struggles to understand himself or herself, or struggles to understand to come to terms with his entourage, with his environment, or struggles with himself to take an important decision. It is these last category, psychological conflicts, which are mostly important, exciting, and memorable. Plots are typically composed of 5 stages: the exposition phase, the rise in action, climax, fall in action, and resolution. These elements are summarized in this pyramid. I will go over them one by one. The first phase in the plot structure is exposition. In this phase, a general background of the story is presented. 3 elements specifically are introduced: the setting, that is the time and place, the characters, and the main conflict. After this phase, things get complicated, actions arise, the characters or the main character fails to overcome the problems which he or she faces, and tension gradually built up towards the climax. The climax is the third phase in the plot structure. It is also called the turning point. It is a moment of suspense, and it is the highest or the most exciting point in the story. It is a moment at which the conflict between the characters reaches its breaking point. After the climax, actions fall, and we come to understand what's going on in the story. So actions move a bit slowly or fall slowly. The last phase in the plot structure is the denouement. Denouement is a French word, so we'd better keep its French pronunciation. The denouement, also called the resolution, is a phase at which the problems or the conflicts are resolved, either with a happy ending, a tragic ending, or a moment of uncertainty, which is an open ending.